Реактор Чернобыльской атомной.
Авария на Чернобыльской атомной электростанции.
A floor stand RGB for controlling battery radiation. We have hands here on this side, hands on the inside, chest, torso, knees, head.
Грудь, торс, колени, голова.
This is my outdoor shower.
Все. Да, мы только найдем.
I returned in 2000.
I was born in the city of Slavutych, and I have actually worked here since 2013. I've changed positions a few times. By education, I'm an international relations and politics specialist. I now work in the international cooperation department. We have to change down to our underwear. We dress completely in white, socks, trousers, and a shirt like this, and a set with more trousers and a jacket. And also white boot covers. We know what to be afraid of, what the risks are, and everyone sets their own limits when it comes to these risks.
I have a dog named Chestnut. I like this color for some reason. He's such a nice dog. Calm down, Chestnut. You can't do that. My daughter lives in Vyshneve, on the 9th floor. She found some guy who now moved in with her. My son is in his 4th year at the Polytechnical Institute. And Mykhailo Pavlovich is here alone in Chernobyl. He's not going anywhere. There are no women for me here, and my children don't have a place for me. Chestnut! Shush!
The Chernobyl nuclear power plant is currently in the stage of being decommissioned. We have a 65-year nationwide decommissioning program. We started in 2000, so we still have many years to remove these 3 electrical power units. As you can see, Bashu 3, the control panel of the 3rd block. This is exactly the same one as in the 4th block, so these are blocks from the same line, which were made by the same construction company.
My wife worked at an orphanage. They took kids from the orphanage in Bila Tserkva, past Bila Tserkva, another 50 kilometers from there to the west. It so happened that my younger daughter took out a loan to get a 2-bedroom flat, so I sold this house and gave her a loan, and then I went to my own house in Chernobyl. Thanks to the administration, they let me in without any problems. I live in my own house. Look, it says I don't drink and I don't smoke over there. I used to smoke when I was younger, but I gave it up.
This is our integrated automated control system for the covering, and you can see what we were talking about, the 3rd subzone. Therefore, staff can be easily here without respirators. Because we are dressed in the lightweight version of our protective clothing, we can only go there. If, for example, we went through the door of the central hall of the reactor, it would be signposted that this is the 1st subzone and that you can't go in there. Good, let's go and look at something interesting.
My wife bought us this from Pripyat. She was there somewhere and she brought us this sign. Shock work for the homeland, to cover a barrel of cucumbers. Let them decommunize this place. It's no big deal for me. It's my history. I can't escape from it. We milled grain. 3 classes worked in my command. The 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I had so much communication that I can't complain. This is a German tin, and this is ours. Look, why do I have them? I found them. They're memories. Now you've seen them too. Damn it, I forgot. If I remember that I didn't tidy up, I would have... Here, I have a deck chair, and those are stones from Zakarpattia that someone brought me.
What is NSC, New Safe Confinement, or ARCH? What is covering object? It's a protective structure or the fourth reactor unit. What is the sarcophagus? The sarcophagus is nothing. It was invented in 90s by the press, and for some reason they called the covering a sarcophagus. We don't have a single document stating what that is at the Chernobyl power plant.
Come over here and film this, please. I'll tell you about it. These are my mother's icons. This icon was given to me when I was in Pachaev. This one my daughter Oksana brought from Israel. It's also an icon. I'm not aging because I returned to my own land, where I was born. Look, yesterday I planted 5 rows of potatoes. My daughter was here. She helped me a little bit. She's grown up now. She's nice and everything's good. People ask to go home, like the elderly people. They would happily give away their flats to their children to come here and look after these areas. Millions of people, millions would flee from Crimea, from Donetsk, from Luhansk. If the country's leaders, the leadership of the zone, were interested in this, they would come and have a look around too. Over there where it's fenced off, a neighbor lives there. The whole street is inhabited. When you go there, you'll see.
If we talk about the power station staff, then 90% of the workers live in Slavutych. The other 10, approximately, live in other parts of Ukraine or in Chernihiv. Look, you actually asked how safe it is here. If we say that 100 microsieverts is the dose you're allowed to receive, this is what you receive just outside the arch. What we mean by gamma activity is 10 microsieverts per hour. So you can stand there for 10 hours and you would reach the permitted dose of radiation. This is next to the new safe confinement arch. The arch completely covers the covering. Reactor 4 is under the covering.
I'm not scared. I can tell there isn't any of that radiation here. Light the candles, good people, light the candles. A candle can, by its blessed fire, light a kind of spark in those souls.
Прозреє, може, там якусь іскорку в тих душах. Зажгите свечи, вспомните, ребят, что мирный атом сбунтовавшийся смирили, их души вновь на землю к нам летят. Что больше бедны с вами не творили.
This is the Chernobyl Memorial. They say that it's an angel, but for me it's death. Death is directing its horn towards Kiev. Go and have a look at the horn. And then there's crosses for the ruined villages. A curse on earth, on people, hatred, war. And while this abomination stands, which was mainly built by people with a national inferiority complex, there will be war. That's my opinion.
I will tell you that people fear that which they do not know. There's the same risk with things that people do know about. When you're sat behind the wheel of a car, there's a risk of an accident. When you're sat on a plane, there's certainly a risk of an accident. I think it's like what happens with a lot of professional soldiers. You think that they are under the tremendous amount of stress, but they have their own point of view on something which is definitely very difficult for us to understand. It's definitely something like this for professionals that work in the nuclear sector.
So, how did you like my suite? Let's go.
Разная и в этом суть. Об этом, милый, не забудь. Если нам комфортно будет, мне все равно, что скажут люди. Мне все равно, что скажут люди.